So my ex-roommate was very unhygienic. Hello everyone. So I know that I haven't been recording study vlogs lately, and that is because I was very busy with everything right now in my life, and I'll be taking admission into my college. So this story is not about that. The story is about when I was in my preparation phase, when I was in a hostel an year ago. Then we had to share our rooms with two other people. Like, there were three people in the room, and I got two roommates. Let's call one Priya and the other one was Shreya. So Priya was, she looked very sweet and very kind, very cute, and I liked her, while Shreya was kind of she kept to herself basically. So I thought Priya was very nice girl and all. I actually didn't want to make a video on this topic. Initially, my plan was to make a video on Priya's father, who was a pedo, and yes, I just wanted to make a video on him. But then I realized that I should give a backstory about Priya also, because she seemed like a very nice person, but she wasn't, and she was just pure evil. And so I thought, like, why not just make this video on Priya first, and then maybe if I get good feedback, I'll make another one on her father. Priya didn't hate me from the start. She was very sweet at the first, but it was only when I stood up against her father, because he was acting very weird and creepy. So I stood up to him, and then I think she was only taking revenge that I somehow misbehaved, like in front of her father, when it was him misbehaving. But yeah, so basically when we entered the hostel, she used to do background checks on me. Like, she would ask my multiple ex friends that how is Rashmi and all, and obviously my ex friends wouldn't give a nice feedback of me, because nobody does. I think everybody at that point was like, no, Rashmi is just pure rude person. And then I think that was the only aura I had. And even now I know that people refer to me as very rude, but whatever, I don't care. Back to Priya's revenge story. She was like very awful. After I stood up against her father, she would like one time she literally stole an expensive watch from my other roommate, and then it was a havoc basically, and we never found out where the watch went. But I was very sure that Priya had that watch, because nobody entered our room because of me, obviously. And she was very weird. Okay, one time, like in our hostels, we weren't allowed to use phones. We submitted our phones in to the warden, and she kept them in the room, in some room, whatever. So but Priya, what she did was, she used to hide a secret phone. And one day I was like very done with all her bullshit and drama, so I decided that I would tell the warden that I would basically snitch to the warden that Priya was hiding a phone. And that day she how do I say it, she literally kept her phone in her pajamas and not in the pockets, you guys. The phone did not went in the pajama pockets. It went somewhere. I don't think I can say it. So yeah, Priya made my life so miserable that I wasn't able to go to the library to study, because I knew that if I would leave the room, she would touch my belongings and use them, and she was very unhygienic. So I didn't want her to use any of my belongings, because that is not very I am a very sharing type of person. Like, I would share things, but only if you are a hygienic person. I don't do that to unhygienic peeps like Priya was. So I used to not go to the library, and I used to study in the room, and that did hamper my studies for a while. But after she did my life so dirty that I had to change my room. So one time I was studying in the room, obviously, on my study table, and I saw that she was washing her clothes and washing her underpants, to be exact. So she did that, and I just saw, okay, she is doing that, whatever. I was just studying, minding my own business. Then I saw that I used to feel suspicious when she stood behind me for too long, and she would not appear. Like, her bed was near my bed and like sideways parallel to my bed. So it was very weird that she would not appear. She was in the room and the room was small, and she would not appear parallel to me because that's where her bed was. So I didn't turn my head to see what she was doing. I just saw her doing some weird thing. I saw her reflection on the glass window in front of me. So what I saw was very weird, and I know what I saw because I confirmed it afterwards. So she took her brush, the brush which is used to clean clothes, and she washed her underpants, and I don't think there was any other cloth. She just washed that with that brush, and then she rubbed that brush on my other roommate's face towel. Like, can you imagine rubbing your this is so awkward, rubbing your cloth washing brush onto someone else's face towel? How unhygienic, how inhumane that act is. How can someone even do that to their own roommate? This was the final straw. I told my other roommate Shreya, and then we finally moved out. And you think that you might be thinking that she was like, the whole situation got inert after that, but that is so wrong. Because when I moved out from the room, then my life, like her friends, they made my life a living hell. Because one of her friends was like, Rashmi is such an aunt. Like, bro, imagine, you might that girl was, forget that girl, every girl in my session was approx an year older than me. Then how come, how am I the aunt in the group, in the class? I am literally 1 year younger than every other person in the class. And then she used to do this, and she used to make fun of me behind my back. Obviously, like, she couldn't say all of that stuff in front of me because she knew that I would break her jaw. So yeah, that was very crazy. Besides this towel story, I think she did many stuff that I don't remember right now. And don't even get me started at her father. Like, he was a pure creep. I cannot stress this enough. He was like, why do people I meet in general are like this? I don't know. I think I had just, at this point in my life, I had too many interactions from older men that are very creepy and potential pedo. And this father, like Priya's father, I know for sure that he was a pedo because it was so obvious. He would come to the hostel and forget his own daughter. He would not even talk to his own daughter, and he would show interest in me, talking to me always and asking me about my result, my exams, my preparation and all. Like, bro, you have your own daughter that is studying here, that I am roommates with. Why don't you just talk to her? My parents come to the hostel and all they do is talk to me. Why can't you do the same? They were like so weird, and her whole family was like too stingy, I guess. They were like so clingy. Her mom cornered my mom and asked for her number. Her dad cornered my dad and asked for his number. And obviously Priya couldn't ask for my number because I don't give out my number to just anyone. Out of 15 people I talk to, my phone number belongs to, like, I give out my phone number only to, like, it's a 1:20 ratio, I guess. 1:20 ratio. And I just don't understand why his father was like that. So I think if I will be doing any story time videos next, I will make a story time video on him because he was creepy. And I just want to say that on the internet because there are many people that might get manipulated by guys like him, and who seem they are literally fathers of somebody, like some girl that is your age, and they would do such creepy things. That is just so weird. And at this point I have had too many interactions like that, so I think I just need to make a video on him. He was just very creepy. When one time I fell sick and he actually called to my house. He called my dad to ask how I was. Like, he could have even asked her wife, Priya's mother, to ask about my health and all, but he decided to do that. And okay, this might not be very creepy, but he was very creepy, and I know it. If I make a list on men like that, I think the first one would be obviously my roommate's father, then the random man I met at some fair, and yeah, he was also very creepy. And then some family uncle guy, he told me to sit on the driver's seat for no reason when the car wasn't even on, and I just left the situation. And there's one of my tuition teacher who used to draw stuff on my face when I was in 8th grade. I don't think I want to share many things right now. I will share in the next video. So bye.